from the Airport Hilton Hotel, this is the Jerry Lewis Telethon. With Gene Taylor, Loretta Sullivan, and our host, Mike Darrow. Oh, what a bunch of fans. What a bunch of fans. Hi, welcome back to the show with only 3 hours to go, folks. So just keep the calls coming in. Keep all these. Again, the phones are not ringing. So come on, people. The phones have to ring for the next 3 hours. We've got to drive that $1 million higher and higher. We talked to Ottawa a while ago. Tom McCormick says that they are matched and passed last year's total, so now they're building on a real great one. So keep calling the Ottawa Pledge Centers. The numbers will come up on the screen. They're having activity centers at the Dow's Lake, having a pretty good time in spite of the weather, so help them out there if you can, but mainly keep the calls ringing as they're coming in now. I'm going to talk to some people I've been working with out west for a long time. That's the ACT, Associated Canadian Travelers, and we have here Verna McGinnis and Bud McGinnis, who are both on the executive committee of Associated Canadian Travelers. Welcome. You've been working for muscular dystrophy for about 3 years now, but this is the first time you've been with us, right? You hold one main event for us, right?
That's correct. We have what we call a Millionaires Night in Kirkland Lake. We have tickets sold, 100 tickets per year, at $200 a ticket.
Right.
In doing this, we have a large meal and all the drinks the people wish to have, and they do some gambling in our casino, and in doing this, we're able to raise this money for muscular dystrophy.
Well, Verna, you look like a dealer. Do you deal or?
No, I'm not a dealer. I'm a chip seller.
Oh, so you handle the money. Yeah, you're doing the good stuff. All right, you've done it for 2 years because I believe a member up in Kirkland Lake has 2 children with muscular dystrophy, right?
That's correct, and also all our wives take part in doing the dealing and selling of chips and whatever has to be done. They do a great part in helping us out. Without them, it wouldn't be a success.
Now, what's your total for us for the first time on our telethon?
We have a check here for $20,000.
Isn't that marvelous? Thank you. $20,000. Thank you. Thank all the ACT members up there who help out, and we want to see you here again next year, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now let's go again to the 2 crazy guys out there, Bob McAdory and Key Radio's Rob Reeford, and they are at Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, you want to see hordes of happy kids, you got to come to Chuck E. Cheese, because they're all here. This huge, big restaurant here. They're playing and dancing and eating pizza and spitting up, I think. That's why they call it Chuck E. Cheese. No, they're just having a good time here. They really do have fun. And, of course, today is a special day for muscular dystrophy. We have the fishbowl here. You can drop in and put in your cash donations or your checks. Bell Canada has donated these cellular phones. So if you're a little short on cash after feeding the kids their pizza and pop, you can pick up one of these cellular phones and dial in a pledge direct to our central headquarters, okay? So no excuse. Come on out to Chuck E. Cheese. We're here at Victoria Park and Shepherd. That's where we are. And with me, the Toronto Police Department has been just great. They've been here all morning. They're going to be here all day long. Constable Marcy is here. What are you doing here, Marcy?
We're just here for 3 hours to just watch over the place and spend a little time with the people here.
Give everybody a big smile when they come in.
Yeah, that's right.
And shake the fishbowl at
That's
them.
right. That's right.
That's good. And with me here is one of my radio colleagues, Rob Reeford of Key 590. Rob, what's happening with you today?
First of all, I'd like to remind people of the phone number of Bob, which is 674-3353 here in Toronto. And with me, another lovely lady, Mary Brooks. Mary has MD, and you've been really working hard this weekend, haven't you, Mary?
I have, Rob, yes. We've been at
Yesterday.
the garage sale up at Shepherd. And we've been working there very hard, and we raised, I don't know, over $4,000.
Terrific.
Yeah, we did a robothon. They're up in Don Mills. We raised over $6,000 to $7,000, Rob.
That's great. Well, listen, all the best of luck, and thanks for being out here today.
Thank you.
All right. Bob?
Okay, Rob, and all of our friends here, you want to give a wave to all the folks on TV, man? That's good. Marcy and I are going to go back and get some pizza and pop and play some games, and we'll send it right now back to the airport hotel.
We've got all kinds of folks here at the airport hotel. From the Oakville firefighters we have
John DeHooge.
and
Don Davis.
and of course my old buddy Okie, who is always at these things. You know, it gets to the point where you start to think that the firefighters all across Canada fight muscular dystrophy almost as much as they fight fire. You had quite an event for us.
We did, Gene. We had our 3rd annual Christmas Magic Show where we raised $10,000 for MDAC, and very pleased to present you with this check.
$10,000 from the Oakville firefighters. Not half bad at all. You know, the one thing I wonder about, every time we do a telethon, there are like 9 million firefighters. What happens if there's a fire somewhere while this is going on?
There's a lot of guys behind us working.
The point is that these guys do this stuff all on their own time. They work at the fire halls, and then they do all this fundraising on their own time. And believe me, we could not do it without the firefighters. They do an incredible job for us, and you can be a part of that. If you want to get involved, get up now and make a phone call. Believe it or not, we do have some lines open. Also, if you want to come down, we got all kinds of things going on at the airport Hilton. Come on down here and meet Okie or meet John. Put some money in the fire bowl. In the fish bowl. Let's go over to Mike, the fire bowl.
You want to go on an Oakville pub crawl sometime with John DeHooge, Gene, I'll tell you. We have a gentleman here who just got him in here because this is something he did spontaneously for us this year. Gary Stevenson, who's an employee of Litton Systems, and you went out and collected some money for us. Tell us how you did this, Gary.
$100. I had about 10 to 12 girls in different plants just asking for money.
Uh-huh. And you got checks there and then cash on the last moment?
Yeah.
Did you want to thank anybody there for that, or is it just everybody that worked for you?
I don't know all the names. I haven't got the list on me.
But you do. You also want to make a challenge.
Yeah, a challenge to our plant in Ottawa, amount of $10 to any Litton employees.
Yeah, $800? How about a nice hand for Gary Stevenson on his own? Went out and collected $800. Thank you, Gary, and thank all the people that got the money from, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And keep doing that. Next year, bigger and better. Oh, yes.
Where do they leave it?
Oh, a little girl over there called Cindy will take it all from you, believe me. Okay, did want to also mention that Chams is going to be holding some music starting this afternoon down at Misty's. They're going to do country and western from Hamilton. Well, Cham is from Hamilton, and they're going to be in Misty's playing some great music. So I want you to come down and enjoy it till about 1 o'clock tonight, okay? Loretta is at the VP phones. Loretta.
I sure am, and I'd like to introduce you to some of the folks here. First, we have Staff Inspector Ian Marr with the Metro Police, and he tells me that he's writing out pledge forms faster than he's ever been able to write out parking tickets. So that's good for us, isn't it? Keep up the good work. Next, we have Mayor Bruce Sinclair, and of course, he is the mayor of Etobicoke. Next to him is Jack Cole. He's an on-air personality with CHWO Radio in Welland. And then we have Jack Peets, who is a radio man with Hits FM in St. Catharines. Then Harry Newlove, who is a firefighter with the Brampton Fire Department. And of course, you probably recognize Jack Duffy. He's a well-known Canadian actor and comedian. And I just have one announcement that I'd like to make. In London, Ontario, the East Park Golf Garden is holding various activities today, such as a hole-in-one competition, and you could win a trip to England. And there's go-kart rides and many other activities, all for MDAC. Now we go to Mike.
We should be able to. Oh, yes. Well, I'm sorry. I'm talking here with Dr. Peter Ray, and we're discussing what we're going to talk about. Dr. Ray is with the Hospital for Sick Children, and what is your title, Doctor?
I'm staff geneticist, and I'm director of the Molecular Diagnostic Laboratory there.
We like to get up every year to see what you and Dr. Wharton and the crew are doing, and it was so heartening this last few years because first, about 2 or 3 years ago, we were starting to get close to mapping the entire gene, and then that happened, and that opened up a whole lot of doors. Do you want to give us a little insight on where we are now with the research that's going on?
Well, this year has been a very exciting year, both for the research and for the diagnostic side. A little over a year ago, our group at Sick Kids Hospital and the group in Boston had found the cDNA for the Duchenne muscular dystrophy gene. That's the functional part of the gene. And with that, having that in hand, we could analyze that and predict what the protein would look like. Mm-hmm. The protein's the part that actually functions within the cell. And with that knowledge, we're able now to develop some probes and actually can find the protein in the cells. So we now are able to see where it is, and we've started the search to find out what it actually is doing and why the muscle degenerates if the protein's missing.
I know in talking to Dr. Wharton, it was hard to describe and to understand something when you say you're mapping a gene and it's something you can't even see with any kind of a microscope. You do it through different ways. But apparently now you're also able to expand the areas of that gene that you're looking for and the protein as well so that you can study it in more detail. Is that correct?
That's true in part. With some knowledge of the gene, you could actually amplify small parts of it. Mm-hmm. This has a tremendous advantage for diagnostics, which have really improved because of this.
What are you going to concentrate on this year now?
Well, this year we're going to continue our search to actually see the gene, locate the gene, find out what it's doing, what other proteins it's interacting with, and what the actual function is, why the muscle degenerates when the protein's missing.
And this work is so important because it gets us closer and closer and closer to finding out exactly how it's caused and then determining how we can go about curing it. Is that correct?
Well, that's true. We hope soon, and within a year, I think we should know what the protein's doing.
And it's all because the dollars keep coming in, and that's why we're here. So we want the dollars to continue so that maybe in a few years' time we won't have a Labor Day telethon. At least maybe not for muscular dystrophy.
Well, maybe not.
Thank you, Doctor. Continued success in your work. Dr. Peter Ray from Toronto Sick Children's Hospital. And we're now going to go to Richard Brown, who's at Zach's Food Emporium. Richard.